Welcome to the first episode of Calls to the Quarantine, a series that takes you on a journey through the experiences of people from all walks of life during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Our first guest is Andrew, who is an electrical estimator as well as a musician.
Moving forward, our episodes will also be available as videos, which you can find on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and possibly other platforms.
We are your hosts, Leanne and Mike, and this is Calls to the Quarantined.
And we're going. So, what's up, Andrew? How you doing?
I'm all right, dude. Just hanging in there, just like the rest of us, just hunkering down, trying to collect unemployment still, waiting for it, like I'm sure a lot of other people are. And I'm still like slightly working because for work, I work with my grandparents' electrical company. And, they're not as essential technically because they do get jobs in New York City, but they're not like for like big hospitals or places that actually need work right now. But once in a while they do. But most of the time, like 75% of the time now, I'm just chilling at home and just
Man.
luckily they pay me like in small amounts.
Yeah, we're very curious to like hear about how you got to that point. So set the stage for us. Paint the picture. What were things like before all of this started?
For me, mentally or personally, like which aspect?
Let's start with job status first.
Job status. Okay, yeah, I was working 2 jobs. Really excited to be stacking up money for some future plans that I had. I was working with my grandparents' electrical company, and then also working as I was working in New York City for this entertainment company called Total Entertainment, setting up like AV sound rigging and all that stuff for like bar mitzvahs, weddings, and stuff. It's like decent money. It's only on like Saturday that they would come and have you come in and stuff, and you work from like literally 8 in the morning. You got to be there at like the venue where they're gonna have the party to set up everything. Cocktail hours at 6, and then the party's over at 11. You're not out of there till 3 in the morning. So you're working like 16, 18 hours, but it's fine. Like after taxes and everything, like you're making like 450, 500 for the one day. And you get to drink and eat free food and chill after. Because like once you set up everything, you're just hanging out.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I was really looking forward to that. And obviously there's like 300 people at these big receptions for a lot of people who got a lot of money who want to have big parties. So obviously with COVID-19 now, you can't be having big gatherings and stuff.
Yeah. So at what point with the events company did you kind of realize like, all right, we're not going to be having any gigs for a while?
Once I realized they started saying social distancing, I'm like, once I heard those 2 words together, I'm like, oh fuck, yeah, that's done.
That does not equate to a fun party.
And I was like, yeah, that means music is done too, man. Like I had a show with a band from the UK. They were gonna come from the UK to play at Velvet Lounge actually.
Oh wow!
Talking next to Stony Brook University.
Great place.
They were gonna play. There was this band called Falseheads. They're like super sick. Like even what's his name, Iggy Pop and the Stooges. What's the guy's name? Iggy Pop.
Yeah,
right?
Iggy Pop and the Stooges.
He like endorsed this band. Like he
Really?
stands by them. I'll have to send you them later, dude. They're practically
That's quite the endorsement right there.
Yeah, man. Like it shows it on their Spotify and everything. Like he's like, dude, I fuck with these guys. You guys are awesome. Like they were getting behind them. The music's pretty solid, dude. And they were gonna come and fucking play Velvet Lounge. And
yeah, that's awesome. That's a nice small place.
Yeah, man. Jackie Guma from Equilibrium Booking was like, yeah, you guys want to get on this show? I was like, fuck yeah, these guys rip. And then they're like, yeah, they're not coming to the UK now because they had a whole bunch of things toward like South by Southwest and all that.
Yeah, all that's canceled.
Obviously, that's canceled. So they were like, you know what? If we can't play that, we're not even gonna come to America. I was like, fuck you guys, man.
Come to America, play Velvet Lounge. It's definitely worth it.
Right. And I was like pissed. I was like, dude, I really want to play with you guys. And then a few days after that, that's when things started getting serious in the US here.
Right.
And everything was like, all right, no, we can't do this social distancing. And considering the fact that the Velvet Lounge is next to Stony Brook Hospital, where they already had 2 or 3 cases in the beginning at that time of people having it, Jackie didn't want to take the chance. And I'm like, dude, I don't blame you. Whatever nurses or doctors that want to come and drink at the bar afterwards, maybe they don't know they got it or something. Anything that happened,
could be exposed.
Still figuring out this whole situation.
Yeah.
But that's where I don't know if that answered that question.
Yeah. So yeah, it does. So events company pretty quickly realized, okay, we're not going to have events, and then electrician job. My understanding of the like trade work was at first everything was considered essential, and then sort of like new construction and anything non-essential happened. So how was that work? How was the decline of that work?
Well, like I said before, we get a few jobs in the city that are like, essential. Like usually it'll be like maybe some small banks or something, or stores, like storefronts for like like European goods or whatever. And they got to stay open, and they're allowed to stay open. Not that they have to, but they're allowed to, right? So a lot of these small businesses, they can't really maybe afford the higher ups of electrical contractors that do like big facilities in New York City. So they look for guys like us
Mm-hmm.
that can do smaller amount jobs for smaller amount of work. Because I mean, in a sense, it really is smaller amount of work, considering we're not talking about generators for hospitals here. We're talking about like one small electrical panel in the back of this one dude's store, and that's it. Little things like that. So
Right.
obviously, it didn't stop completely the work, but it went to a really, really quick decline, and now we're at like 20% like working capacity
wow.
instead of
Wow.
100. But
Okay.
money is slowly coming in, but at the same time, it's like,
At least it's still coming.
yeah,
That's
exactly,
something. A lot of
yeah.
people right now have nothing coming in.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
All right. And then before we move on to how you're doing now, let's do a mental check for yourself during that time. How were you mentally?
Well, to be honest with you,
Ah.
you would think a lot of people would say they start going into more of a depression, but because I've been more productive with music. I mean, Grippo knows the band I was in before this, and after that finished, it was like it sucked that I was like, fuck, I got to start everything on my own in a sense. I mean, I got Clutch too, but I have to start everything on my own and start from square one again. And like, do I even want to do this? Can I do this? Should I do this? And musically, I'm speaking, and
Mhm.
because that's what
yeah,
it's the only thing I really known in my life. It's the only
it's
thing I
so
really
hard to
feel.
start back from that beginning again. It's
Yeah.
like you put so
Mhm.
much time and effort into something, going back to square one, being like
Mhm.
laying all the groundwork
Yeah.
once again.
Yeah. And so on
Really
top of
tough decision.
that on top of working with grandparents, which is great, but at the same time not so great, I'll be honest with you. It's like like half the time I don't even want to be doing electrical contracting, maybe a little more than half the time. But
Mhm.
it's something that I learned to do over the last 5, 6, 7 years. So it's like, all right, I might as well just settle with that. But I don't know. I don't want to dumb down anybody else from this, but like being a dreamer and being a musician, I have bigger aspirations, and I can't just be on that hamster wheel or just kind of just settle for just working a job and coming home. So I'm
I
trying to
feel
like
you there,
balance
man.
making money and do all that. And my big plan, which I'll just straight up say on here, because I've already told you guys, I don't really care if anyone's listening right now who hears this, because it's not going to happen for a while. But I was planning on leaving, with me and my drummer, and just getting in a Sprinter van, converting it, and leaving.
Mhm.
And now that's going to be stopped for a while now until everything kind of goes back to normal. But like, mentally, I gotta say, going back to your question, mentally, it's like I'm a lot happier now because I have more time to just be here and work on stuff.
Wow.
I don't mind being quarantined in here, because for the last year or two, I've been in that slight depression that's put me into this same basement that I'm in right now that has no windows. And you could tell me it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd believe you because there's no windows here. So for me,
Yeah.
it's like that Seattle type Nirvana thing where it's like
People
you're
try to
indoors.
simulate that with like the
Yeah.
blackout
Yeah.
curtains. And
So like, fuck it. Like I got cool neon lights here. Change the color lights for a second. You know,
Yeah, let's check
$40
those
Amazon
out.
lights, dude. Like, what up? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, you
party
should see
down
the
here.
lighting we got over here. We just
But,
installed a new chandelier
oh
last week.
shit.
Sick.
It's
What?
true. I keep staring at it in
I'm an
admiration.
electrician now too.
Oh shit, dude. No,
he
come
did
work.
he did do it himself. He did a very good job.
Heck
He
yeah.
did the
Oh, thank you.
what is it called? The hot wire?
Oh, when
And
you actually like mended the wires, and I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't work in the
yeah.
field fully, but I know a lot about like what the workers do and stuff. But like you had to
Yeah.
put the wires together, and you
Yeah.
did you put a
Yeah,
cap
there's
on that
three
shit
wires.
too?
Oh yeah, I capped it.
All
There's
right,
three
good.
wires. I knew if I got them wrong, that'd be it. This whole
Yep.
co-op complex
The
would
copper
explode.
grounding wire.
Explosion, dude. Like
Yep,
Chernobyl
that'd be
explosion.
it. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Chernobyl's got nothing on the Great Huntington explosion I caused.
Fuck that shit, dude. That's nothing compared to whatever happened. You could have
Yeah,
started World War III, dude.
yeah,
Like,
that'd been it.
All right.
yeah,
So, you
I'm a
know,
lot happier. I'm a lot
yeah,
happier after
very
this.
happy to hear that. Good for
Yeah,
you.
I
That
I
is
guess
mean,
I'm
I'm
just
not happy
awesome.
for everything going on the outside, but for
Of
my own
course.
mental health, for production and what I want to get done in my life, I
Right.
want to be streaming a lot more. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this stuff.
yeah.
So, I
That's
mean,
what we're doing right now.
yeah, and Mike, I mean, I'm not sure if you saw, I don't really believe all health officials and everything going on with that, but like they're saying that large events and concerts, group gatherings won't happen till fall of
Fall
2021.
2021, insane. I believe it too. Like
It makes
I
sense.
could see
That's
how it
right.
could happen because like they're talking about like stuff like comedy shows now,
Hmm.
and how they're gonna have like a table, then empty table, then empty table, and
Hmm.
people and like stuff like that. It's going to be
so
you
weird.
can't have a concert that's there on a mission. You can't have people climbing on top of each other, sneezing on each other, crowd surfing and whatnot.
Exactly.
All that stuff's going to be, they're going to have to do something to make that happen. They're really going to have to wait for this to decline for that to start happening again.
It's so crazy to see what life is going to be like once we can get back into that. I wonder if people are going to be more appreciative to go out more, or they're going to learn to be more reclusive and be so used to living indoors now that they're not going to want to go out because they're like, hey, you know what? Everything's virtually possible, literally, virtually.
Yeah.
I can just watch it here now instead of
Yeah,
go out.
exactly. That big concert's going on tonight, the Global Citizen one that happens every year.
Yeah, I was watching that a couple hours ago. My cousin, even in Italy, is watching that right now.
Is that any good?
Yeah, you know, here and there. I mean,
I want to watch it to see the insides of all of their homes.
What we need, Mike, I know we can't do that because you can't have big gatherings. But remember what happened in the '80s with Queen's last show for that Africa thing for Live Aid?
Live Aid.
Yeah, dude. Like I can picture that in the future. I'm sure that society's going to come together to probably form something like that. Because this is going to be like this is bigger than Live Aid at this point, dude. If you want to help fund this shit,
absolutely. I think Global Citizen is like the first one to try something like that.
Yeah, the only big names I heard that were on that so far were Lady Gaga and Stevie Wonder. Did we hear about anybody else that's on that?
I was reading through the list this morning. There's a bunch of big people. There's also a couple people I'm definitely not familiar with.
Yeah,
we saw Lizzo before.
Oh yeah, I think Lizzo. Yeah, Lizzo we saw it.
Yo, girl, Lizzo was in there. She's like dancing.
Something about bad bitch, right?
Yeah. She did not have a flute though. She was just singing.
She plays the flute.
She does.
Wow. That's depressing.
She's an incredible flute player.
I had no idea. I hope everyone now knows that.
Sam said that she's classically trained, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, so you're working 20% ish.
You know, like 2-3 days a week, if anything. Right now, it seems like we're not getting jobs.
Mental health has
went up.
I think that's gonna be a huge rarity.
Yeah, agreed.
I kind of agree with you though. I think my mental health might be going up.
Oh yeah, right? I'm like I miss all our friends. He's like, I'm good.
Like, I feel like Mike and I are like the same kind of people who just like chilled in our room so many times. Now we get to feel we have like a satisfaction that people actually feel our pain now and be like, not our pain, but like just to be like, yeah, dude, now you know what it's like.
It's an introvert's world now.
Hey, we're all on the same like level now. Like, welcome to my world. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
But so, all right. So what have you been doing with your time? I know you said music, but what have you been doing?
Literally music, Call of Duty.
That's a big one. I hear everyone's playing that. Dude, they released that at the perfect time. I'll tell you that, man.
They really fucking did. Apparently, it came out in November, actually, but it didn't really blow up till recently. And by recently, literally, Sam's the one who told me about it. She's like, "Hey, did you hear about Call of Duty Warzone?" I'm like, "What the fuck is that? Another Call of Duty game that fucking is the same thing as every other game?" She's like, "No, it's different. They have their own battle royale." I was like, "That's cool. Black Ops 4 did that though, but." What's different? I checked it out. It's apparently like the biggest map you'll ever play on with 150 people instead of like the max, which is Fortnite, which is only 100 people.
Wow,
and it's pretty dope. I think you should give it a try. It's actually, there's some really cool shit that happens in the game. Like if you die, you know, you have a chance to come back alive. You only get one life, but you have to kill somebody in this prison that they bring you to called the Gulag.
Pretty cool. That's different. I'm glad they're bringing something different to the battle royale genre. Because it's getting a little bit stale with everyone just pushing them out nonstop.
Fuck yeah, I can't agree more. But no, I definitely think you should try it out, Grippo. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I'll have to go grab my Xbox.
Hell yeah.
And get that. And so I'm so bad at those games, so I'm colorblind. I never know who to shoot.
Actually, I think in these games, in the settings, they started
doing colorblind mode. I'll have to see if it has it.
Wow, I'll consider it.
It's like OID or something at the name of the 3 different settings that they have it for colorblind people. And they have that for you. So you should definitely look into it.
That's good.
Hell yeah.
All right. So how are you feeling about not getting an income? Did you get the $1,200 check? Yes. How are you on health insurance right now? Where are you at with all that fun stuff?
I actually did get the check about 2-3 days ago.
Me
okay.
Too.
Thank you, Daddy.
Very awesome.
Other than that, I'm still trying to get my unemployment going through. I've been trying to call like crazy, and like even when I go on the website to sign up on like NewYorkState.gov and whatnot, like I'll log in and then it's like, all right, here's the unemployment button. Click here to start. Okay. Put in your social security number. And then I put it in twice and it's like, you've tried too many incorrect times to log in. You've been locked out of the system. I'm like, but what?
Wow.
Wow.
I've already been logged in this system. What are you talking about? Like it's glitching that bad. They're like, please call this number between this times on Monday to Friday.
How long have you been trying?
2.5, 3 weeks, I'd say.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm working 2 jobs, so I should be getting like some guap.
Yeah, for real.
So yeah, I mean, it sucks. It's frustrating. I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of other people are feeling the same way. It's frustrating knowing that you can't fucking like get this money that apparently you're owed now. So it's like,
At least you're
Yeah.
not alone in it. Like, there's
yeah,
what's the number right now? 23 million people
yeah,
are
it's like
unemployed.
something
Yeah,
27
something like
million.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's an insane number of people
yeah.
who are trying to do the exact same thing you're doing right now, trying to call the same phone number.
How about you guys? You
Yeah.
guys too?
And it's really like how many people haven't been able to get through, like you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
You guys have been trying too, right?
No, actually, I work in a group home, so I've still been
right.
going in Monday through Friday,
Jeez, that's so
6:30,
rough, dude.
2:30.
That's so sketchy, dude. Because
It's yeah, it's scary because I mean, going out, there's no social distancing there and whatnot. It's hard, and
it is
I don't know if
scary.
you all.
Yeah, I work for an e-commerce company, so we're working from home, which has
there you go.
I
Sam,
definitely feel fortunate and grateful, but it was a transition.
Mhm. I'm sure Sam could probably tell you a little about hers too because she works for Progressive.
Oh yeah,
So
And
she's working from home.
yup, she's got a computer set up just for work, and they give her the headset and everything, so she could just work from home. And you wake up at like what time to start? Like she wakes up at 7:30 to start and works till like 4 or 5,
Yep.
4:35, 6 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever.
I've talked to
Well-
quite a few auto adjusters lately, so
let's
Yeah.
not go there.
Oh,
What is Sam's preference? Working from home or working at the office?
she says she's not happy staying at home because she lives in this really crappy apartment, and also you can hear all the conversation upstairs. They don't allow her to smoke downstairs. She can't have a pet.
Mm.
She
Where are you living?
she's living in Lake Grove actually,
Oh,
just
okay.
like a few blocks down from Lake Ronkonkoma, like right there. Yeah,
like
yeah.
my parents.
Yeah, exactly. And she doesn't want to always be in the house every day. She's always there. She has nowhere else to go. So far, I can imagine a lot of people who are working from home, like yourself. Like you're working you're at least you're not living by yourself, and that's why I really it sucks for her because she doesn't live with anybody. She lives alone over there.
I fully thought that she was living with you, and you're like,
She
Ash,
was at some
her
point.
living condition sucks. Like,
It's like, have you seen this basement? Let's change colors.
you're like, I love this place.
Your basement's sick. You got that sick bar back there and everything.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
dude, I'm
basement.
chilling,
The
dude.
only thing missing is the
Yeah.
windows.
I got a full bottle of blue curacao for no reason and no alcohol. Just blue
Beautiful.
curacao liqueur.
Nice.
That's
We haven't been drinking at all. I've had maybe
Yeah.
like 5 drinks total this whole quarantine.
I think I had 2. I
Yeah.
had White Claw just to keep up with my image, but that's about it.
Got a reputation to protect.
Yeah.
gotta keep
But like once now, like with the quarantine, it's like when I drink, I want to go out and scream and do things like that. And I just like I can't do that.
dude.
So I have I don't know what to do. If like I were to drink, I would just be like,
How can he be
Going
washed
nuts.
up in our just
yeah,
nice little home?
yeah.
Right?
It's not very washed up.
It's like a catch-22 feeling.
It's rough, very rough.
But yeah, working from home definitely, like, I realized that I had to create a totally separate space that I'm sitting at just for working, and then once I'm clocked off, I like leave it, because it was like my 2 worlds were starting to melt together, and I was really starting to lose it.
Yeah, I was literally telling Sam that a couple of days ago too, because her computer she set up is literally by the edge, by the foot side of her bed, so she could just literally work on the edge of her bed, and then just literally lay back. She could lay down and literally be on her bed right there.
Yep.
So I agree though. Having a different spot is much
Yeah.
better.
I saw this picture the other day that was like a woman sitting on her couch on her computer, like, oh, finally sent that email. Oh, work is over. And then like the next screen, she opens a new tab and lays down a little bit. She's like, relaxing now. Just like, yeah. Yeah.
But on top of that, her apartment's really small. So even if she were to move to the other side of the apartment, it's like only 20 feet away, 25 feet away.
Yeah, that's rough.
Can you guys hear her from back there?
Can't.
A little bit. but not really.
But yeah, no, she's just, she's in a really decently small apartment. So for her to move to the other side of the apartment, it wouldn't really make too much of a difference.
Yeah. You remember me, like the first week, I was like, woohoo, I could work from my couch. And I like wasn't showering and
doing
just
nothing.
like seriously just nosedived, like just because of myself.
I would kill to be just like sitting at home doing nothing all day.
Right.
And I'm still going out, and she would probably kill to be going out and doing what she wants.
Yeah.
It's
We're
so
both
crazy.
positions.
It's so crazy how opposite it is right now. Either you're essential or you're not essential, and that's it.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like I'm a mix between you guys, only for the fact that being in like such a small business, you're not getting a lot of business. They don't need you there all the time.
Yeah.
So like, I'm still in the in between. Well, more obviously not in the in between world. I mean, the normal world would be to work every day, right? But obviously, it's like in between not working and working. So it's like, all right, grandma, I guess I'll see you in like a few days or something. Let me know when they want us to send that $7,000 check or whatever. Just that's it. It's like, all right, be safe. I'm like, you more because you're 75.
I've been staying as far away from my parents as possible and going home to my parents' house as little as possible.
Yeah. How are you staying connected with everyone?
Well, I'm still living with my parents. They live upstairs. Luckily, I live on another floor.
So you're yelling.
Hanging on the ceiling. Like, hey, is there any food
More meatloaf, huh?
Hey, Ma, where's the meatloaf?
Meatloaf. Meatloaf. I swear, one day, if you guys ever watch me on a stream and I see you guys come in, I'm just gonna randomly yell to my mom. Like, what?
I hear you've been doing like a lot of Facebook watch parties, right? Or something like that.
I've been doing a lot of Zoom parties with some friends. I have a bunch of people who are really trying to keep the Long Island music scene mended. My buddies Melissa and Rob, they just created this website and this it's like think of it like a cumulative community of people that are just coming together to share arts and the arts in general. They're posting posts for like open mics to perform virtually over here on the island. They're called VBT. Awesome. They're called VBT, virtually broadcasting together.
Virtually broadcasting together, VBT.
Awesome.
That sounds like a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I think this quarantine is like inspiring a lot of creativity within people and making them push out. Not that they're not going out, they've got the time to sit down and do those things that maybe they've wanted to do for the past 10 years.
You know what? Exactly, dude. And for the same reason, musicians like you and I, we got to tackle that opportunity and try to make that as best as we can. I don't know what you and Joey got planned for what you're going to be doing right now for the next year and a half max, let's say. Yeah. But I hope that you guys are going to.
It's all digital right now.
Yeah. Are you going to wait for a year and a half to release your incredible new album that I definitely didn't hear already?
Might have to wait. I don't know. I don't see with you can't really release an album without touring.
Fiona Apple just did it, and she killed it.
My homies in Enter Shikari right here. They just released an album.
Just dropped that album too.
Yeah, people are doing it
yesterday. And I mean that's the thing though. And I was looking up a bunch of articles for the music industry and people talking about that. It's a very like walking on eggshells. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yeah. It's hard for like musicians that have a group of more than one person though, because how are you gonna like?
Yeah, you can't social distance on stage, and like
you can't live perform.
Yeah, I mean, at least with your acoustic stuff, you can still perform that. You just put clutch 6 feet away from you.
Or you could be the first band to figure out how to make it happen.
Could be. Probably won't be.
There's a website that's new right now. It's called Jam Kazam, and it allows you to, as long as you have like a wired connection, not Wi-Fi, you can jam with other musicians in real time with no latency.
Wow,
it's a free.
Yeah,
it's a free
it had to be a thing already.
It just started, dude. It just started, and it's already lagging a lot because of the fact that everybody's using it.
I'm sure people who are probably like drummers and I mean guitarists, you can like riff around, have some fun, but if you're like a bassist or a drummer, it's like you need like the other one to
Something,
go off
yeah.
of.
Yeah, me and Clutch tried out the other
Yeah.
day. There was some slight latency, but when you're jamming on some like slow beats and you do those like regular blues jams or whatever you see at typical bars, you can actually get away with it. And you're like, holy crap, it's so sick. Everything sounds so good and like everyone's on time. But at the same time, I'm not that much of a fan about it because you want to be in person with the person that you're jamming. It's a different
Yeah.
feeling when you can't even see their face. You're just staring at like your computer screen with their
You
level.
got your guitar right here. It's like,
Yeah, you're
what's
like,
going
wait,
on over there?
yeah.
Looks like we're gonna have to record a song, Mike.
Yeah.
With bass and ukulele.
Oh, you play the uke?
I play the uke.
Like I play bass.
I know 6 notes, so
I know 6 notes as well.
you get something.
Maybe 4. I'm not sure.
Hopefully, we don't know the same notes.
Maybe on this new
We have a
Kissing
whole
Candace
scale
album,
together.
maybe on this new Kissing Candace album, they're gonna add a 7th note.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll
You're gonna
see.
be really rolling in the Benjamins now, man.
Yeah,
Love to do the 7th.
definitely. I hear that's how you make money.
Grippo learns
But
a
then
note.
again, back in the 90s and early 2000s, Limp Bizkit taught us that you only really need 4 notes to make $1 billion.
Yep. This is true.
And I'm hoping those times come back.
Hey, man, listen. At this point, anything can happen.
That's very
Yeah.
Enter Shikari's new album that they just dropped. The name of it is "Nothing Is True and Everything Is Possible." That's what they named the album.
That's awesome. I meant to check that out the other day. I haven't given it
It's very random. It's very random. It's a little lighter than what you're used to. Just to prepare you. There's not a lot of
then. Okay, then I can listen to it with her around. Perfect.
Yeah.
This is a great segue, though. What are you thinking for your own future whenever this is all over? Are you going to go back to the events company? Are you
Gonna get that Sprinter band going?
Are you starting a new band? Do we get to hear your music?
I'm well, when it comes to the company and all that, I mean, I'll take money wherever I can at this point. I mean, once everything goes back and no one can send any more unemployment money and any of that stuff, obviously I got to find money just like the rest of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have to find it on such a level because I need to be able to afford the things we need for that Sprinter van. Between the installation, the wooding paneling, and the fan that we want to install on top, everything that we need, it's going to be about $6,000 to $6,500 grand. After we already spent $5,500 to buy the van, just between the two of us, and you know how it works, Grip. If you're in a 4 or 5 piece band, you can split it. You can split it 4 or 5 ways, great.
Yeah.
But if you're
the problem is that the profits are split that much too.
Yeah, but when you're a 2-piece band, Grip,
everything's that much more expensive. Those
I had to drop $2,000.
It's only divided by 2.
Yeah.
Yep. I had to drop $2,700 myself to buy my half of the van.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like 4 or 5 ways where it would probably be like what, like $1,500, $1,300 per.
Yeah,
4.
that's a great price for a Sprinter van, though. That's
oh, dude, I fucking lucked out with getting this one. It's like
that's amazing.
Great model. Sick. Yeah. And as for music, I'm gonna just keep making stuff. I think, and I'm glad that I do this personally, especially because Scatterbrained is still a nobody band. It's just about singles, man. Like EPs can be maybe good, maybe 3-song EPs, but nothing more than that because the attention span of most people is like that of a goldfish if they don't even care about your music.
That's
so
it's true. You keep saying like songs shouldn't even be like more than 3 minutes now.
That's as long as
because people are just like, done.
And good luck, and you better hope that you catch them in those in track 1, track 2, and track 3.
You have to instantly catch them in, or else the album gets shut off, and they're on to the next album. That's how it goes now. And I agree. These singles are the way to go. It's like drop a single 1 month, drop a single next month, drop a single next month. Especially a time like now is a great time when people are looking for something to consume and listen to.
Yep, exactly. So that's why I want to go at that level.
We can
just drop one song a month.
Yeah, we've been trying to think about different release methods for this time. There's got to be the perfect way to release during quarantine that doesn't involve touring,
Yeah, and it's such outer space right now. It's so unknown that like you're not gonna know until it happens. And in my personal Nostradamus opinion,
can't wait.
From this point right now into like maybe 6 months from now. So let's say like a 9-month increment from when we started all this lockdown to when 6 months and then 9 months in total. I think people are gonna really want to see music, but how you release it and the amount that you release it at will be the reason. Because listen, I mean, I've seen bands that release singles for like a year and a half, and then they drop the album, and then they'll do their tour. So if that's the case, drop your singles now, and then within a year and a half, when you drop an album or go on a tour, you can go on the tour, and people have been listening at least within that time.
Yeah,
You know, I mean,
absolutely.
I don't think just because the real world stopped and everything paused, the internet world is
Yeah.
now on fucking it's on steroids now. So I
Yep.
think, regardless if people can't come out and see you, because I know that's how it works, Grip. You got to release an album, then do a tour, because that's how you're going to make money for everybody, your label and yourself.
That's how you get
All
the
the merch
sales
too.
up.
Right.
It's like you sell that album at
But
the show. You force people to buy
you
it at
could,
the door.
yeah. Right. Here's what you can do. I mean, between just, if you make band, or what's that thing? Um a band, Big
Patreon.
Cartel, and you can
Oh
sell your
yeah,
merch online at the same time. And then if people want to see you live, they'll come and see you live. Because I
yeah,
mean, listen,
absolutely.
think about the people. Okay, look at it this way, Grip. Okay, um, look at a band that's like somewhat known that would play in the main typical continents of like North America and Europe. What's a
Mhm.
band that's like okay, let's say Volumes. I don't know.
Okay,
All right, they played around a lot of parts. They played Japan, they played Asia, right? But let's say they haven't played the Philippines in the last 4 years, right?
that's
But they're
true.
gonna
They go
release
to the
stuff,
Philippines.
and all those people in the Philippines, they're aware that bands like this don't come around often. So whenever they will come around often, and they will, they'll make sure that they go and see them.
That's absolutely true.
You know?
Especially, that's a big thing. I feel like places like that, they're starving for music. And now
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
America's also going to be starving for live
yeah.
music,
Yeah.
like
And
places like
on
the
top of that,
Philippines and Hawaii are.
right. Think about all the time System of a Down broke up and then came back and then did a show. They were gone for maybe 2-3 year increments or whatever. That's, in a sense, you could think about it like this: every band is broken
Yeah.
up right now.
Right.
You
Yeah,
could think
It's an
about every
interesting
band in the
point.
that,
world has officially broken up.
that's
Mhm.
super interesting. That's
You
a
know,
really cool point. Wow.
because at that point, if no one can see them, because no one has the opportunity to see them at all, whether you're in fucking Antarctica or Tokyo.
Everyone's technically on hiatus right now.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
100% going to the shows
So
that you want to go to as soon
and
as they're
right.
announced.
Then when the world deems that the world is now safe and we can get back to that, all these bands will be like, hey guys, so yeah, we're touring. Oh shit, right, they're still together. I want to go see them because
Yep.
wow, it's been a while since I've even like, that's the key right there though, is making them still keeping them in like mind, and making sure that they know that you're keeping them in mind by saying, hey, we're still a band. Just remember us after this quarantine's over,
Yeah,
eh?
gotta keep the content coming.
It's such a
Yeah,
double-edged sword though, because that's the exact reason not to announce shows right now, because as
yeah,
soon as
not
they
shows.
are announced,
They're
they
going
are going to
to
be packed. And
Right,
that's
right,
like
right.
exactly what we can't do right now. So
Yeah, exactly. But
it's
I'd say use this time, make content like you were saying, dude, because like you can only really benefit from this. You might gain a lot more fans now because there's everyone who's just surfing the fucking internet,
yeah, exactly.
and you never know who you'll come across. It's like, oh, we're this band, but I think it's just about that consistent content. So it's like, try to imagine that this quarantine's not happening, and you just can't tour right now for whatever reason. And what would you do then if you just can't tour right now for whatever reason? What else would you be doing besides playing? You obviously can't play shows either locally, whatnot. But not that you guys really did. You guys are more exclusive on that end.
Yeah,
Um, but think about it like that too. Like, every band's broken up, and if you could right now, what could you do if you couldn't tour? And I hope anybody who's in a band listening right now keeps that in mind.
mhm.
The only sucky part is we can't play till then, but at least remind your fans to keep you in mind, so that way they still
I've seen like lead singers doing their own like, quarantine songs, doing covers from their bedroom, stuff like that.
same.
I haven't seen anything with a group of people though and how they're handling
Code
it.
Orange, I think, has been doing. They've
Oh
been
shit,
playing
really?
empty venues, like just
Oh, really?
we're streaming from live from empty. Like their CD release show, they still did it because it was the night that the stay-at-home order went in place. They
Yeah.
just did it in the empty venue and streamed it, I believe.
Dude, honestly, I don't want to get conspiracy theory on this, but like,
Oh, we are
it's
more
so
than welcome.
perfect. It's
Yeah.
so
So you
perfect
know
that
who
it
you're
got
talking to.
it's so
Me, I'm
perfect
not
that it
really.
got set up like this, because what's going to happen is you're going to start seeing sporting events, live events, any type of huge events where there's people, is just going to be televised now. And all the companies that film these, like MTV or CNN or Fox, they're going to be profiting so much because their ratings are going to go so high because so many more people can only watch now instead
Mm.
of be there in the present. So it's like this quarantine is really, really putting the corona, no fucking pun intended, is putting the crown on the people with big bucks and big money that can afford to promote themselves out there as a form of a media. that gets paid money to get people to view from their
Yeah.
channel. You know, I know it's a sinister way of looking at it, but it's kind
No,
of
it's
true.
true. But this is
It's
also
an
the
interesting
time
point.
for the rise of the new media too. Like, if there's something you want to do, now's the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now's the time to make that website, make that new platform for whatever you want to do. Make it.
Yeah. So yeah, my, kind of last question for you personally is, what about your life are you going to make sure is changed once all of this is over? What have you learned from before and now that you're gonna make sure that you're doing once all of this is over? And now you're gonna have this podcast to hold yourself accountable to it.
What am I going to be doing after? I'm just going to be working hard to get the hell out of here. That's what I'm still sitting.
Operation Get Out is
Yeah,
gonna be
like
full effect.
Yeah.
I already thought about that question in my head the first week this all started happening, when I'm like, yeah, this is going to last a while, I think. I started thinking, yeah, if this is going to be a very long time before I leave, I just know it's going to be crazy. How crazy is it going to be that I'm going to go for the next 1 to 2 years of my life doing this and staying at home, to then literally not even living in a home, just living in a van for a year and a half after that. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. I mean, but that's the journey of it, and that's what my plan is. And I want to be recording videos to put up on YouTube, like episodes of our whole journey doing this. And I'm still sticking by that. That's my answer to that, is that
Sorry, looks like we got cut off there for a quick second, but let's hop right back into it, Andrew.
So yeah, I'm just gonna like get out of here. I'm still, it's so bad to go into that part of the question after we just finished recording before.
Yeah, right.
I forgot exactly where it cut off, but yeah, I'm just gonna be still planning to leave Long Island at some point with my drummer clutch.
I think that's a lot of people on Long Island are realizing how much they hate it here right now and wanting to get out.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
It's interesting though. I mean, this quarantine, there's a lot of different experiences and a lot of different situations. But something that I have seen among some of my friends, and it sounds like with you, is like this, like, like we were all like caterpillars, and now the quarantine is like us going into our little cocoons. And like once it's over, you could emerge as like who you've been thinking in your mind that you really want to be. Now you have this like pause to like actually make it happen.
That's a really beautiful way to put
really
it.
Cool. Thanks.
I like that. I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna let that marinate in my brain for a little while.
Yeah,
I like that.
Cocooned.
For real.
That's
Cool.
for our questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
anything else that you want to
plug your
share?
stuff, man. Plug whatever you want people to know about.
Check out Scatterbrained. You could find it's Scatterbrained, ED with a period at the end, past tense, Scatterbrained. I know some people get confused, but it's okay. We are on everything: Instagram, Twitter. Just Google it, I guess. Find it out there. We're just a 2-piece alternative rock that does spoken word into the music type band. 21 Pilots meets Taking Back Sunday meets City in Color meets a bunch of like just indie electronic stuff too. And if you guys want to record some dope ass songs once this whole thing is over, I have my own little studio. If you guys want to record anything, I can record hip hop, rock, anything. I'm also a pretty savvy producer, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Yeah, hey guys, This is Andrew here, and we'll make sure that we put up your contact info for people who might be looking to come record with you or follow you on Instagram and check out that journey of you in the Sprinter van when all this is over on that YouTube, man.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate that.
Thank you, man.
It was so great talking to you.
You too, guys. All right,
awesome
stay safe.
First episode.
I'm so happy that your mental health is.
That's the most important thing,
man.
It's
great.
I hope you guys are going to be okay too. We still got a couple of more months to couple of more.
Sure do.
I'd say we're like barely even a quarter way through, so hopefully
I agree. But we'll see. No one can tell yet.
Mm-hmm.
We're just being fed lies, and somewhere in all those lies and deceit is the truth.
Oh no!
I'm not gonna get into
You mentioned one conspiracy theory in front of this guy.
Let's turn this 2-hour interview into a freaking 5-hour. Let's go.
Yep. All right, man. Thank you so much for coming on, dude. I appreciate you. Stay safe.
Care, man. All right.
Later.
Guys. Later.
We hope you enjoyed Andrew's story. And our next guest will be DJ Rostar, a stenographer who also interviews musicians. Until then, You can keep up with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and SoundCloud.
Just search Calls to the Quarantined.